Hey, I'm Fred Minnick, and on this week's Hot Take, I'm going to tell you why Maker's Mark is holding back on you. Giddy up. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that every now and then I will tweet, you know what would be nice if Maker's Mark released a 12-year-old bourbon. Here's the thing about Maker's Mark. I believe that if they focused on putting out bourbons that had, 10 to 15, even 20-year-old age statements on them, I believe that they would be the perennial number one bourbon at every competition. Their whiskey at cask strength with some age on it is absolutely sublime. But here's the thing, Maker's Mark has this strategy that they bottle to taste and not to age per se. They are also trying to always keep up with demand. One of the things about Maker's Mark that always surprises people is like how many cases that they will go through in places like Miami or Las Vegas or New York. Maker's Mark is the most important brand in the contemporary history of whiskey. They brought back bourbon when no other brands were selling. I mean, you can learn about that in my book, Bourbon, the Rise, Fall, and Rebirth of American Whiskey, about how important Maker's Mark was to the rebirth of bourbon. And now that all of these bourbons are online and everyone has these annual releases, these limited edition small batches, these Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, of course, a Pappy hype, Maker's Mark has just been flying in under the radar, still selling cases after cases after cases. And then they introduced Maker's 46, and then they introduced the private selection program, which is the best private selection program in all of whiskey. But the best kept secret in all of whiskey is that Maker's Mark could just completely dominate the award scene if they just released 12-year-old bourbon. And here's the thing, I've tasted it before. People who attended my Legend series with Bill Samuels Jr. in 2015 got to taste it too. And here, I got it recorded. I was able to dust this recording off and show it to you here, but you're going to get to see a little bit of history. Myself with no beard and no gray hair, and Bill Samuels tearing into me over my palate. Take a listen.
I'm guessing at this, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right. Our whiskey stays in the upper floors for 3 years, and then it spends its last 3 years on the lower floors with the windows open. This is 6 more years. I'd bet the house that all 6 of those were spent on the lower floors. So it's the intensity of those other 6 years is not all that great. Okay? If it had half of those 6 years up on top, the extra 6 years, this would be noticeably stronger.
Now, see, you're trying to influence everyone's opinion.
I'm trying to tell you the facts.
Well,
and the second part of the facts, you and pay particular attention to the nose. Bourbon gets richer
like
every year it's in the barrel.
You're getting in there, and those.
That's the best part of old whiskey, is the nose.
This is a gorgeous nose. Can I get an agreement on that? It's a gorgeous nose.
Yeah, the nose is spectacular, isn't it? If we could borrow this nose and then throw the whiskey away, I'd be perfectly happy.
You don't like this whiskey?
Not really.
But you also admitted that you're not a higher proof guy, so I don't know if you can be objective here, Bill.
Well, I'm thinking more about how it's starting to migrate to the back of the mouth. That's all.
See, I'm feeling this bourbon just completely coat my mouth in like a nice mouth coating, mouthfeel with a good the caramels and vanillas, like a creme brulee in there, a little roasted marshmallow.
How about the tannins?
Just a hint.
How about the that's where all the color comes from.
It's not over oaked for me.
Well,
it's not over oaked. There's a lot of over-oaked bourbons on the market, as you well know. But this is, I think this would do quite well in competition.
We only got one bottle left, so don't have to wait another 6 years.
Send it to the San Francisco World Spirits Competition.
Oh, it's not
I'd love to. That's right. You guys don't send bottles to competition.
No. Everybody's brainwashed. Remember, I want y'all to know something. He won't tell you this, but this concept of acquired taste was developed by bourbon marketers in the early 1900s. Every time you took a drink of strong whiskey, it kind of made you stiffen up, and the marketers would say, "Oh, I know you don't like it, but if you keep practicing, you'll get to where you like it." See, he's been influenced by that concept.
And now I'm the influencer.
I know you are.
I tell people to taste. Oh, now you got to taste one more. Show of hands who like the 12-year-old.
You can't have any. We don't.
So Bill Samuels is one of my dearest friends in all of spirits, and he's a big reason why I am where I am today. Is because he kind of would pat me on the back and tell me I was doing a good job. Even when I covered Maker's Mark in a negative light sometimes, he would still say, "Man, you're doing great, keep it up." And then when my book Whiskey Women came out, that was a really cool moment for Maker's Mark, because I was able to tell the story of Bill's mother, and now she's in the Bourbon Hall of Fame. But we always have fun together when I say, "When are you going to release a 12-year-old bourbon, Bill?" And now I do the same to Rob, and I tweet it every now and then. And the PR people and the marketing people are like, "Oh my God, is Fred at it again?" And they're probably going to hate this video. But at the same time, I do believe in this unicorn of 12-year-old Maker's Mark and a cask drink. I know one day it'll come out. And when that day comes, I'm going to buy as much as I possibly can and hang on to it, because I know they probably won't do another release. But 12-year-old Maker's Mark is absolutely delicious, and it would just clean the clock of the award circuit. I guarantee it. Well, I don't guarantee it, because I'd probably buy it all and drink it all to myself. But I'd share it with friends. I'd share it with you. But seriously, we are missing out on what could be the best bourbon in the world right now, and it's sitting in Maker's Mark warehouses to what they believe to be overaged. But I think, you know what? They're pretty doggone good. So, hey, that's going to do it for this hot take. If you want to learn more about American whiskey, whether that's the taste, the history, or you want to see a celebrity interview every now and then with me teaching people how to taste bourbon, click that subscribe button. And if you'd like to become a member, just hit the join button. We're doing all kinds of fun stuff in the Fred Minnick channel here. So thank you all for tuning in. Be safe out there. No licking handrails, no licking trash cans. Remember, vodka sucks unless it's being used for hand sanitizer. Bring us Maker's 12-year-old. Bring us Maker's 12-year-old. Cheers, everybody.